I'd like to meet a client of mine. Her name's Marie, and at 50 years of age, going through the menopause, Marie was able to lose 57 pounds. But that's not the interesting part. The interesting part is what happened before. Marie felt like she tried every diet out there, yet she still kept getting heavier and heavier. In fact, she said to me she'd reached a point where she weighed more than what she did when she was 9 months pregnant. Not a great place to be. Every morning she'd tell herself today's going to be the day, but by mid-morning she'd find herself back eating the very food she was trying to avoid. Then came the guilt, then came the I failed again, and eventually Marie found herself sitting in a hospital car park considering weight loss surgery and asking herself how had it come to this. But instead of the surgery, she picked up the phone and asked for help. And over the course of the next few months, she was able to lose 57 pounds. So in this video, I'll show you what she did, what she changed, and how that can help you as well. And before I walk you through what actually changed for Marie, it's worth saying this. Marie isn't unusual. Granted, not every woman I speak to is in a hospital car park thinking about weight loss surgery, and that may not be the case for you. But the repeated behaviour patterns, the guilt, the frustrations, the feeling of feeling like I failed again, those are pretty universal feelings that most women over the age of 40 trying to lose weight find themselves going through. And just in case we haven't met before, my name is Eric Simpson. I'm a former Army physical training instructor turned weight loss coach. And for over the last 15 years, I've been helping busy professional women over the age of 40 lose anywhere between 20, 30, 50 and 80 pounds plus. And I've seen women struggle with the same patterns time and time again. You see, women generally don't fail because they lack information. They generally tend to fail because of information overload, trying to do too much too quickly and often trying to be perfect when that is simply not the requirement. Now, Marie, probably like you, already knew a lot about food, diet and exercise. And as I mentioned earlier, probably it wasn't down to a lack of knowledge why she was struggling. The problem was the way she was trying to lose weight. Like many women, she'd been caught in the cycle of trying to be perfect, starting strong, being really strict and then feeling like she had failed the moment things didn't go according to plan. And that can be quite exhausting because if your plan only works when life is perfect, it's probably not a very good plan. Okay, so what did Marie actually change and that made the difference? Well, the first thing was she stopped focusing on trying to lose 57 pounds because that was quite overwhelming to think about. Instead, she focused on taking the next small step. We made exercise manageable. We stopped treating foods as good and bad foods. And rather than me giving her a whole list of rules, I helped her to understand why certain ways of thinking, eating and exercising work better than others. One of the things that surprised Marie was that she could still eat foods like cheese and still lose weight. So the goal wasn't about perfection. The goal was about consistency. And as Marie put it herself, and not my words, her words, I didn't feel like it was that difficult because I did it one small step at a time. So if there's one thing I encourage you to take away from this video and Marie's story, it's this. Stop looking for the perfect diet because it really doesn't exist. Stop looking for the perfect exercise plan because that doesn't exist either. Instead, I want you to ask yourself this question. What's the next small step that you could take? That could be going for a walk, 5, 10, 20-minute walk. It might be eating a little bit more protein at breakfast maybe or at lunch. It might be planning tomorrow's meals, doing that tonight. It doesn't need to be perfect. It just needs to be something that you feel comfortable and confident that you can repeat because that's exactly what Marie did when she got started, and that's what helped her to lose the 57 pounds. Now, you might be thinking, well, that's all good and well for Marie, but will it work for me? And that is a fair question. What I'd say to that is this. Marie didn't lose 57 pounds because she was more motivated than anybody else. She lost 57 pounds because she finally found an approach that she could stick to, an approach that actually worked with her life instead of working against it. And if you'd like to find out more about the approach that Marie took to lose the 57 pounds during her menopause and how it may be able to help you, go ahead and click the link below and book in for a free call with me. Nothing to buy on the call. We'll just discuss what your goals are, where you currently are, what the struggles are. I can explain a little bit about how the Coach Me Slim and Trim program works and how we could potentially work together. And if we think there's a good fit, we would then book a second call to discuss it in more detail. But that initial call, say nothing to buy, it's just a conversation between you and me to find out whether or not there's a potential that I could actually help you with the approach that I take with the Coach Me Slim and Trim program. So go ahead, click the link below, and I look forward to speaking to you soon. Bye for now.